One day it happened, Duryodhana's wife, she's just 18 or 19 years of age probably. She is fully pregnant with her first child. So she's sitting there, some of you ladies went for the… mehendi. She has mehendi on her hands. She's a simple girl, devoted to her husband. She doesn't know anything else, she's dedicated her life to her husband. That's the way the tradition taught them, that's all she is. So she's just sitting with those things, and he just washed her hair, wants to dry it. She's sitting with her maid. Being a queen, she has maids around her, so she is sitting. Duryodhana has just been to the Swayamvara to win over Draupadi as his wife. Bhanumati was struggling within her because if Draupadi comes, she comes from a much bigger royal family, she's Drupada's daughter, and everybody knows that she's a very powerful woman, fiery woman. Bhanumati is a simple girl, very beautiful, but simple person. She doesn't have the intrigue of a Draupadi behind her. So she was going through her own emotion. She was happy that he lost the Swayamvar. Everybody has their own agendas. So Duryodhana was the shame of having lost the Swayamvara, and above all Arjuna winning Draupadi has been burning him, and he's not able to sleep and eat, and he's walking up and down fuming and all this. So in the same mood he came on the terrace where she was both her hands like this, and he was in an excited mood. So he came and said this, that I can't face the world like this. I lost the competition, and that too Arjuna has to come and win. If somebody else had won, it was okay. This guy had to come and win, and they're alive. We assume that they're dead, but they're alive. Now they've married Drupada's daughter, they have a huge army behind them. So all these things bothering, and all his plans have come to naught because of this. So he expressed this to Bhanumati. Bhanumati said, it says in our scriptures, whatever is written in our forehead by God, that's what will happen. Why are you struggling like this? You have Hastinapura, everything is there for you, you have a large kingdom, you have 100 brothers with you, we have wonderful parents, they're all for you, and I'm there for you, fully dedicated to you. Why are you bothering about Draupadi marrying Arjuna? You have enough, we haven't enough, we should be thankful for what we have. Why should you be like this? So he just flew into rage. You stupid woman, you don't understand statecraft, what's involved in all this, where it's going to head in future, all that. So things came like this, and he got more and more hot. Then he asked, okay, you tell me what I should do. Because he's at his wit's end. He asked his wife, what should I do? So Bhanumati said, I think you should consult Krishna Vasudeva. He's here right now in Hastinapur. I think you should consult him. I am sure he will tell you what's best for you. She has the trust in him, no matter who it is. Maybe you think you're an enemy, but he will tell you what's best for you. That trust she has in him. Because there's an earlier incident. She is just 17 at that time. She's an extremely beautiful girl. And Krishna was Duryodhana's guest in the palace. So in the night, after this is over, Duryodhana has a plan. He wants to get Krishna a little drunk and get some kind of commitment from him. He wants to get some kind of a commitment from Krishna, so he arranged a whole this thing, and he tried to provide this, that, everything for him, and he made sure there is sufficient amount of wine in the party, everything. His friends have come and everybody drank too much, and they all went out of control. Krishna maintained his school and he went about meeting everybody, charming everybody, and he was there. Bhanumati also, in this whole enthusiasm, she also consumed more than she should. She's a young girl, she's not used to these things, and she became very tipsy. So after some time, everybody got so tipsy and things went out of control, it almost went on the verge of an orgy. So Bhanumati lost control over herself and she just came and fell on Krishna and she started expressing her desire for him. So Krishna just held her like he would hold a baby, and he saw where the whole situation was going, and he saw in this condition if she does something, she won't be able to handle it later, and as a queen of Hastinapur, she will be finished. So he just carried her, he physically carried her and took her inside the palace, went to Gandhari's chambers, that is her mother-in-law, and handed over the girl to her and came. And next day morning, she was absolutely grateful to him for having done this. And from then on, she was like a devotee of Krishna. So she said, you consult Krishna, he would be the best man. So the moment she uttered the word Krishna, he just flew into a rage. He said, you go and live with him if you want. So she was absolutely offended by this. You're not just talking about me. You're talking about Krishna. He's not an ordinary man. You cannot just tell your wife, go live with him. She was so hurt. She was wanting to meet Krishna because he was in town, but now Duryodhana put this thing, you are never again going to meet him. Never again. You will not have any kind of communication with Krishna, nor will you meet him, nor will he come into this palace. So she cannot break that, so she was completely broken. She was fully pregnant, she's just a few days away. And she's so disconsolate that she can't meet Krishna. She wanted her child to be blessed by him and all these things. Then her sister, Bhanumati's sister Jalandhara came by and Duryodhana was still around. So Jalandhara asked, what's this nonsense? Why are you making this woman cry like this? She's pregnant. What is this nonsense, you and your whatever? This is not the time to talk to her like this. So Duryodhana said, I will slap you if you talk to me like this. He said, if you slap me, Jalandhara was a spirited girl, if you slap me, I'm going to bite your fingers off. Things went in this direction. Then Jalandhara literally asked Duryodhana to get out from that place, and she hugged her sister and whatever between them. Then Bhanumati said, I somehow want to convey something to Krishna, I would like to see him. I'm going to deliver this first baby, I want to see Krishna. And now I cannot see him anymore because he's put the law like this, he's the king and my husband. So Jalandhara said she will make an arrangement to meet with Krishna. So she did not know how. Bhanumati is 17, so minimum Jalandhara is just 16 probably. So she did not know how. Then she thought, and Bheema, the one of the Pandava brothers, the strong man, has been paying some attention to her. Okay. So she thought if she approaches Bheema, he has good access to Krishna, so it may be possible. So she sent a message with a maid saying that Jalandhara wants to meet Bheema late in the night, in secrecy, in the gymnasium, because Bheema works late into the gymnasium in the night, so she wanted to meet him there. So Bheema was all thrilled that Jalandhara is making a secret rendezvous with him. He was very excited and he dressed himself up properly and, fragrances and everything, and he went. Then Jalandhara came with the maid and sat there, and so Bheema said, what? So Jalandhara said, no, I actually came because I want to meet with Krishna. Bheema got totally pissed. You want to meet Krishna? Why did you call me in the middle of the night? The man is sitting there the whole day, shamelessly meeting people from morning to evening. From morning to evening, he's just meeting people all the time. And he said he has such a relationship with Krishna that he can say these things. He said, from morning to evening, whether it's a woman, man or child, he's making love to every one of them with his eyes. So you can go and meet him there. Why did you bring me here? I thought you came to meet me. So Jalandhara told about the situation that Bhanumati wants to meet him, but Duryodhana has said no. And she also expressed that she also appreciates the attention that he's been paying towards her. Then Bhima softened out and he's willing to do anything for her. Then Jalandhara said, if my Swayamvara is fixed and you are there, I will only garland you and nobody else but you. Then he completely said, anything, we will do. So he said, fine, I will meet Krishna and arrange this for you. And they just came out. He allowed the ladies to walk because, she's a princess. She's come in secrecy to meet a man in the gymnasium. If people come to know, her reputation is gone. So he allowed them to go, and a few steps behind or with sufficient distance he was walking with another friend. Then he noticed a man who was standing behind a tree, and after Jalandhara and her maid walked, giving a little time, this man followed. So immediately Bhima thought, he's heroic. And he thought somebody is following the princess, so danger. So he went and caught hold of him and asked him, who are you? He wouldn't say anything. Then he thrashed him. He's good at that. And so he said, he's a spy sent by Shakuni. When he got enough thrashing and a few teeth fell out, then he said he's a spy sent by Shakuni, who is a master deception man in the whole story. So Bhima was concerned whether what he knows and what he does not know. So he asked, do you know who you were following? He said, I don't know, but I can clearly see she's of a princely bearing. She's somebody from the palace. The way she is dressed and the way she is, she must be somebody from the palace, though there is a maid with her. I do not know who it is, that's why I was following. Then Bhima just started thrashing him for the pleasure of it. And what else? What else do you know? Then that man feared for his life and he said, right now Shakuni and Dushyasana are planning to kill Bhishma, yourself and Krishna. They are right now in the process of doing this. By next Amavasya, all three of you will be dead. So Bhima thrashed him little more, detail. So he said, right now, if we go across the river, there is a Bheema Aghori, there is a sage whose name is Bheema Aghori. Aghori is a system of, you can call it yoga, which is an extreme system of yoga, it's an occult format. So they are right now sitting with Bheema Aghori and they are doing the black arts to kill Bhishma, Krishna and yourself. So Bhima took the spy along with him. They took a boat, crossed the river and they went there. There was a little fire burning near, he knew where the Bheema Aghori is. So they went and hid behind a tree and there was a little thatch-roofed hut-like thing and a fire was going on. Shakuni and Dushyasana were sitting. Bheema Aghori is like 75, 80 years of age. He's totally naked. Aghoris are always
naked like that. Not necessarily, but most of them are. Completely naked man, and he's mumbling something and chanting and everything. Dushyasana and Shakuni are sitting there with eyes real wide open, like it's little more than normal kind of open. When people are struck by something, their eyes open more than normal. Have you ever noticed that? Really like that they were. And Bheema just sat there listening to everything that's happening. Then Aghori asked, okay, who are the people that you want to eliminate? Then Dushyasana said, first we want Bhishma to go, he's always standing in our way. And Krishna has to go. And then Bheema must go, he is their main strength. If we destroy him, we'll break the Pandavas. So Aghori called for Mother Goddess. He went through a whole process and various things. Then a voice started speaking. The terrifying voice started speaking and approached him and referred to him as my child, and spoke to Aghori. Then Aghori said, these people, they want Bhishma, the son of Ganga, to be dead by next Amavasya. So the voice said, Bhishma has been given the boon to choose his death, so I cannot do anything about him. What next? Then he said, Krishna Vasudeva must go. Mother Goddess laughed and she said, he is divine, we cannot touch him. We cannot do anything about him. Then they said Bheema should go, son of Pandu, Bheema should go. Then Mother said, okay, do the necessary offering, we will see. So Aghori was just about to conduct the next part of the ritual to have Bheema dead within a month's time, which would have definitely happened if things were done right, which he would do. Just at that time, Bheema pushed the thatch roof into the fire. The whole thing caught fire, and Aghori's body caught fire. But he's made such a way. He's a 75 or more years of age. His body caught fire, his long beard and his hair first caught fire, and then his whole body caught fire. He simply sat there without uttering a single sound. And when his body was really on fire, totally burning, he just uttered, Mother, I'm coming. That's all he said. No screams, no pain, no nothing. He just sat there. Aghoris go through a whole discipline. Now, Amla is saying we should be like yogis, that's what she means. She wants all of you to go through some real hard stuff. That if we put a knife into you, you won't scream. You will be fine. If we set fire to you, you will be fine. This is too much pampering yoga. So, then this Aghori, whom the goddess or the mother goddess treats as her own child, went into a fury of energy. A whole different kind of crackling energy was created with tremendous sound and vibrance in the situation. Dushyasana and Shakuni were absolutely terrified. They just ran to the river. They didn't even have the courage to untie the boat and go. They just swam across. They just jumped into the river and swam across. Then Bheema withdrew and his job was done. He immediately broke the neck of the spy right there. Because he'll go and talk. He broke his neck and he came back. So why I'm saying this is, people who are on the Atharvan marg, they see and hear and smell and taste things that you have never imagined. So much is happening here, so much. One thing is, just simply in terms of life, so much is happening. Especially these mountains have seen any number of siddhas and yogis and seers. You can't kill them. You will never kill them because they're always on. If you create the right situation, they will become full force. Otherwise, they are simply there like that. So the whole process of occult and the Atharvan is just this, that there was a struggle. It is Krishna Dvaipayana in collaboration with Mahatharvan who made Atharvana Veda a part of Vedas, saying that it's fit enough to be included. Though people tend to misuse it, there is nothing wrong with the science. There is nothing wrong with the science itself. It's the way you use it. So you don't have to ban the science simply because a few people misused it. With that understanding, Krishna Dvaipayana or Vyasa made sure, and Parashara also worked towards this, made sure that Atharvana Veda was given the same status as the other three Vedas, which were already established as sacred books.